after a swift and daring raid deep into the heart of the French countryside, Edward the Black Prince leads his men back toward the safety of the English camp. Their carts laden with precious supplies vital for the survival of his hungry army. Yet the road home proves treacherous. French forces under the fierce and cunning command of Jean de Claremont and the indomitable Bertrand du Guesclin have laid an ambush to cut off his retreat. Caught off guard and heavily outnumbered, the Black Prince is forced to make a desperate stand within the crumbling walls of a half-ruined French stronghold. As the enemy masters outside, tightening the noose, the question looms: can Edward rally his weary troops and break free with his hard-won plunder? Or will the flower of English chivalry be trapped and undone by French steel? The battle for survival begins now. French Army List. Division 1. Bertrand du Guesclin, Major Hero Level 3, 3 units of French men-at-arms and 1 unit of French crossbowmen with pavises. And Division 2, commanded by Jean de Claremont, Minor Hero Level 2. Jean de Claremont has 1 unit of men-at-arms and 1 unit of French crossbowmen with pavises. And let's go to the English army lists, where we have Division 1 is at Thomas Beecham, 11 Earl of Warwick, Level 2 Minor Hero, 2 units of longbowmen and 1 unit of men-at-arms. The baggage train is protected and commanded by Reginald Cobham, 1st Baron of Cobham and Sterborough, Level 2 Minor Hero, 1 unit of men-at-arms. And the stronghold, inside the stronghold we have Edward the Black Prince, a legendary hero, 1 unit of archers and 1 unit of men-at-arms. So we started with a deployment, and you can see the French on the left are the attackers, the English on the right in front of the stronghold, in front of the keeper, the defenders. First of all, we need to check for weather. This is my house rule. I'm going to use the weather chart from Solo Wargaming that I've been using for many of my rules. But let's have an aerial view of the battle. You see here the ruined keep. There is a moat in front of it, a shallow river. And we have barricades, stakes around the banks of the shallow river, and obviously the wooden bridge. Here on the left is Reginald Cobham, who is protecting behind stakes again the baggage, the very, very important valued baggage. And inside we have the Black Prince with 1 unit. And we consider in the battlements there is also units of longbowmen. So they're going to be shooting from the battlements. We consider that these are units, 2 units. So the battlement walls will be, let's say, the edge of the unit, and we will be counting the distance from there, and we'll give them a +1 modifier. Now, before we start, as I said, we are rolling for weather change and see what we have, and we rolled a 3, and that would mean that because it's November, we're going to have light rain. So this will hinder movement, and obviously will hinder shooting, and that's very bad for the English. Obviously the French have crossbowmen, but it's going to be very bad for the English because they're dependent on their good longbow fire to weaken their stronger French force. So the rain starts and the battle starts with the first move, and this will go to the French, who will be attacking head on. They have a wider frontage, and as you can see here, they're moving. They have a wider frontage. You can see here this the crossbowmen who are on the extreme left. A couple of successful shooting dice broke the coherency of the French line. You can see Bertrand du Guesclin fell behind, so the line of battle in a way was broken. That was quite successful shooting, and it was not expected because of the negative modifier I'm giving to the English because of the rain. The English obviously are not going to move. On the right flank you can see Jean de Claremont and his units coherently moving towards the English. Again, you can see the danger of the crossbowmen who are basically unchallenged in the extreme flank. The French continue moving. Jean de Claremont's units reached the banks of the river, and they changed in a type of column formation in order to charge the English and break the bridge defenses. The English are very well barricaded. The shooting now continues to do that in close range. Here, Bertrand du Guesclin's units are trying to recover, they're trying to regain the coherency, and the French, who are quite competent crossbowmen, they're shooting behind pavises, so they get a positive, let's say, modifier and protection from longbow fire. They have been harassing the English quite substantially because the English archers are focusing on the very dangerous French men-at-arms who are moving swiftly towards them. Now we continue with the battle. We see the French are trying to cross the bridge and attack the English, and at the same time Bertrand du Guesclin's division is moving here on the left in front of your screens coherently. The first and the second divisions, let's put first and second, let's say, ranks, and the crossbowmen, again, as you can see, the advantage of the extreme flank of the crossbowmen, who are unchallenged by the English longbows, who obviously are focusing on their main enemy, and that's the men-at-arms. Now the men-at-arms of the French are crossing the bridge, and they're going to fight hand-to-hand combat. They will have some negative modifiers regarding their column formation, and they will probably, it's very important for them to break. If they manage to break the English there, who are behind stakes, obviously, and they have a soft barricade, there will be a problem because they will break the English lines, they will divide them. Now, what happened with very successful shooting, the English archers of Warwick pushed back the French men-at-arms, and this delayed the hand-to-hand combat and quite successful shooting, again, considering rain and negative modifiers. But in the same time, you see in the extreme top, the crossbowmen behind the pavises, unhindered, unchallenged, move, and now they're flanking the English archers, shooting them. Obviously, the archers of the Black Prince on the battlements of the keep are going to continue shooting, but this is quite a substantial problem for the English. It created for the English a big problem trying to defend. Again, here we see the pushed back from shooting men-at-arms of Jean de Claremont, and we continue the hand-to-hand combat, and that is quite gruesome and difficult on the bridge. Still, we haven't. Reginald Coburn hasn't committed yet. He doesn't think it's required at the moment. So we continue with the hand-to-hand combat, we continue with the battle, and now you see Bertrand du Guesclin's division is crossing the river, and they are now ready for hand-to-hand combat. The English have obviously the advantage of being behind stakes. Now Reginald Cobham saw the crossbowmen that would be very dangerous at flanking their main force of Warwick and charged and attacked them before they crossed the river. They're still in the banks of the river, so they have a defensive advantage. Reginald Cobham is trying to get rid of the crossbowman quickly and swiftly, so he can outflank the French that are now committed in the river. Obviously, there is a second division of French in the back, but Reginald Cobham needs to get rid of this crossbowman. The men-at-arms that were pushed back are still behind, and the crossbowmen here on the right are still harassing the English archers, who are weakening continuously. The archers on the battlements are trying to support, but still the crossbowmen are behind stakes, and it's quite difficult. Now we'll continue with the battle. The hand-to-hand combat is very, very hard. It's very, very balanced. The English longbowmen are holding quite well, considering that they're pushed by the superior man-at-arms. Actually, the crossbowmen held one round in hand-to-hand combat of Reginald Cobham, and but still, they are weak and they will probably be destroyed in the next round. As you see here, Reginald Cobham destroyed. Here on the left, destroyed the crossbowman, but Bertrand du Guesclin, leading his men-at-arms, broke the English archers, who fell back inside the battlements, and they will support from the back. They will consider them more on the battlements, but they broke them. They left the battlefield. Now things are looking quite interesting because now there is a gap in the English lines. The French are piling in their force. They are reorganizing, and the crossbowmen are harassing from the right continuously. But also, the very important division now is Reginald Cobham here on the left, because he destroyed the crossbowman, and now he's not challenged, and he can support the center under Warwick's command. This is a very critical time now for the battle, because this could be make or break for the English after the penetration of Bertrand du Guesclin. The English are fighting. They have the upper hand on the bridge, and they need to get rid of the French. At the same time, there is a continuous harassment from the battlements that weakens the French, especially the men-at-arms. Now what's happening is that with the actions that are required, I'm doing it, Reginald Cobham will turn and will attack Bertrand du Guesclin, who is basically, broke the English line, but at the same time, he's in between two English units, and his division in the back hasn't crossed the river. It's a difficult ground. It will take time. Maybe Reginald Cobham will have a time to break the French before the second division, the second ranks, appear across the river, and then there will be a big problem because of the numerical superiority of the French units, who are now moving. The second division of Bertrand du Guesclin is moving across the river, but Reginald Cobham decides to commit to attack Bertrand du Guesclin from the back, and hopefully break him before any attacks materialize from the other divisions. So you see here a great melee. It was very interesting to fight this melee. It was quite, the units held well. It was very balanced. It was quite, gruesome die rolling, and the continued support of the battlement longbowmen who were harassing the French men-at-arms here. You see now Bertrand du Guesclin is between two English units, but at the same time the second ranks of the French are coming. Also, don't forget, there is a unit of the Black Prince inside, protecting the ruins, protecting the openings, protecting their prince, but in the meantime, it hasn't committed, because the longbowmen are still holding on the right flank, on the left flank of the English, but they're harassed again continuously by the unchallenged crossbowmen from their French right flank. Continue fighting. We're fighting with rolling dice. Things are quite balanced, and let's see what's going to happen. So we are at a stage where the English longbowman broke on the right flank. You will see it now. Reginald Cobham attacked the second division of the French, while Warwick on the right is fighting Bertrand du Guesclin here in the center, in front of the gate. Here the English broke. The French men-at-arms were too strong for them, and now they're fighting in front of the ruined keep. The division of, the unit of the man-at-arms of the Black Prince, who are there, blocking the entrance. A continuous melee. Actually, the rules worked really well. They were fun. The stamina was moving. Archers were, shooting from the battlements for my special rules, that they can shoot from the battlements even if it's in melee. So the French, although they look like having the upper hand, were weakening continually, reducing the stamina and basically reducing the die rolls as per the rules. So unfortunately, I lost the last video where I show you exactly what happened and the units are left. So I'm going to probably describe it more for you. What happened is that the Reginald Cobham destroyed the 2nd Division of Bertrand du Guesclin in the river, and then turned around and attacked Bertrand du Guesclin from the flank. And in front, Bertrand du Guesclin was fighting Warwick. So at that time, the battle was almost over. Bertrand du Guesclin had to escape by the skin of his teeth with his life, and the remaining units, plus the units of the Black Prince, sallied forth, and they destroyed the remaining French. So it was a great fun victory for the Black Prince. He managed to win by the skin of his teeth, managed to take the baggage, and go back to his camp and enjoy his winters there before the campaign of Poitiers. So this is for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this narrative video. I thought it was more interesting because it has very nice miniatures and color. I hope you enjoyed it. I will leave you with some photos. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.